changes, the energy changes, my message changes. How many of you have felt that Jesus take the wheel before? I feel that every Sunday morning. And y'all in between. That place where you feel like you're just not enough sometimes, or you just can't make things move in. You need that help. For so long, people have thought, I don't know what that is. I go to Sunday school, I go to church, I do this, that, and the other. I take all these classes. We go over and over things we've been searching. But this year, and the past years, have really put us in a place in world consciousness to begin to take a look at our own self and say, how do I want my life to be? And I don't think it's not about politics and all these other things, wars and rumors of wars, all these things are coming. But what's happening, we're all feeling those deep, deep emotions within us of chaos, of storms in life, of all the negative stuff that has ever happened to us sometimes begins to come to the surface. Something we thought we had pushed down. And oh my gosh, I'm going to where you wanted to sing a song. It was something about resurrection. I didn't think it was appropriate when she said that because it's not Easter time, folks, you know. But all of a sudden, I'm beginning to feel how appropriate that is for this right now. Because we feel like we're dying. We're dying from our old ways of being. We're dying from so many things. We seem to be splitting apart from the family when something inside of us says, I want our families to heal. I want our communities to heal. I want it to be like it used to be. I want to come together in laughter and fun and love and harmony and peace. I want us to come together like in that one great tapestry. The word won't come out. Tapestry. My tongue's going too fast. My brain is one. To come together and be in harmony. Have any of you ever thought that lately? Things are so different. But that change is coming. And in that change, so many are afraid. And in that fear, we find ourselves closing off and backing away from things. But in that time alone, we find ourselves going deep, deep, deep within. And we find a tune within us. I guess that's coming up too because I've been hearing about they're finding tunes in Egypt and in Israel that are so ancient, way before they ever thought mankind could have ever been on this planet. But in feeling that, I'm feeling that we have something, a tune within us, that for eons of time, we have been pushing old stuff down in this tune of things that should have been forgotten, left behind, our pains, our hates, our bitterness, our anger. It's still somewhere in I want to go to my gut, that we've been holding on to it. But have you ever exploded in these past couple of years, or even the past months, got so upset, started yelling and screaming, and that's not your nature, but you do it? Anger starts coming up, or resentment starts coming up, or past experiences that you thought were dead and gone. And I've used this several times, and even lately, but I'm seeing the men in the graveyard yelling out to Jesus to help him. And they were saying, don't bother with him, he's crazy. He runs around naked half the time. We've tried to clothe that man and make him be a better person and all this, but all he does, he winds back up in the graveyard, yelling and screaming, taking stones and rocks and cutting himself. And as he's bleeding, he's screaming out for help. He's just insane. But how many of us do that? How many of us have so much pain inside of us that we go about a certain situation, somebody did me wrong, song, any of you ever had that? That little thing going on for you, somebody did you wrong? Maybe that boss, or that best friend that stabs you in the back, remember that? Or that ex, that husband or the wife, that everything fell apart, and it hurt you so you felt like you could never be the same. That girlfriend or boyfriend, you go back and you start remembering it. When you start remembering it, you're being just like that man in the graveyard. What's the graveyard about? The thing standing calm. What's a tomb about? Those things that you buried deep within you. Shames and guilt and hurt and pain. It's all opening up for us now. It's opening up. And that's why we've had this time in this past few years to feel those feelings, to express those thoughts about what's bothering us. Yeah, we need to just puke it up, don't we? We need to let it all go. It's time to let all that stuff go. And in this process, there is the tears that come. I'm seeing tears. How many of you cried this past year over things? And maybe start crying deeper than you've ever cried before? Like your heart is broken. And the tears just don't want to stop. They just keep coming and coming and coming. That's a cleansing time. It's like a baptism of the soul. It's washing away that hurt. Even that hurt that seems so tremendously like you can't even keep going on. Can anybody relate to that? You wonder, am I having a nervous breakdown? What's going on with me? You're shifting, you're changing, you're growing, you're expanding. And when you get to that place that you just can't go any further, that deep, subtle peace can begin to come in. Because it's always been there. That light, that love, that wisdom, that power that's been yours since the foundations of the earth. It's always been there, but it's been hidden, it's been buried. And we've been taught so much by this community, that community. Even before you were ever born, you heard those around you talking a talk. You think a child doesn't know what you're saying? Don't fool yourself. I've shared this, and I think I don't want to talk about myself, but there are experiences I've had, so you've had them, I'm sure. Didn't you hear your parents talking about stuff when you were just a little kid? And you understood every word they were saying, but you couldn't speak their language. I remember as baby was being born, I was floating up above it, and I could see through the walls. I could see the car coming, that Dad was rushing home, and the doctor was in his car right behind him. They came in. I watched as my aunt and my sister come running to the front door. She'd come across the road to get my aunt. And the baby was being born, and I was watching. But I was hearing every thought that everybody in that house was thinking. Had no reaction to it. I was just there watching from a higher place. And the baby cried. I watched as they took the baby into a kitchen, put her in what you call a dish pan. And as my aunt lowered that baby into the dish pan, I could feel the warmth in that, and it felt good to that baby, that little body as I was watching. And then she leaned the baby back a little bit to get the head. When she did, the back touched the pan, and that part was cold. That's when the baby cried, and I felt myself go, but as a child, At times I would hear people talking and I knew what they were saying. So from the time we come in, we begin to take on things. And what I recognized, we draw opinions from what somebody says or does. Because my aunt was thinking things about they shouldn't be having another child, she just lost one less than a year ago, blah, 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 blah. I took it personally later on. Not at that moment, but I felt like my aunt did not like me and did not want me to be around. So we start picking up things from a very, very, very young age, even inside the womb, I believe. Why I'm going here, I do not know. But we've got so much stuff that we're carrying. And a lot of it is we hear somebody whispering about he or she's not smart enough, not good enough, or whatever, and we take on that energy, our negative energy, those thoughts that ego says it starts building. But we've got something greater than that. That's only our covering. That ego is to protect us from those things outside of ourselves, or to make us feel better or bigger than something outside of ourselves, or in control of things. But what's beginning to happen now is that light that's within us is beginning to show us who we are. Who are we? Who are we? Now there are so many, I like that, many paths. That's the major world religions around that cross. But one source. But that's totally different than we've been taught, more than likely. But that's what I've always felt. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. It doesn't matter what you believe. We're coming to a place where we love each other, and we're coming to places we open our hearts and our minds to truth. The truth is, we all came from the same source. And science will tell you that now. And that we're all connected to everything else. Science will tell you that too. Jesus taught that. Probably Buddha and Krishna and whoever you want to name that became a master. And what's a master? One who wakes up to wisdom. One who wakes up to truth. One who wakes up to love. One who wakes up to oneness of all life, of all things, and honors it. We're coming to that place if we choose to. In the creation stories, and there's many of them, the thing you are gifted with is free will. I always wanted to help somebody, come to that place that they were the better person, And in my upbringing, I was told that you're supposed to get down on your knees at an altar, and that's how you did it. But I watched too many of my friends go down to the altar, live a life during the weekend that you wouldn't let mom and daddy know. But then on Sunday you started feeling guilty, so you're supposed to go down and ask for forgiveness. And if you didn't, you went to a place of fire and brimstone. Things that happened in my life, I'd rather be in a place called hell with fire and brimstone than to walk through some experiences I walked through. How about you? The death of my parents when I was young. And I met Tony. Just thought of this morning about how we became closer in those 2 years. His brother was killed in an automobile accident. Less than a year, my 20-year-old son was killed in a car accident. And a couple of years or so later, we decided to get married. I realized we were drawn together during that time because of our grief and because of helping each other to feel better. It's all of you've done things. All of you have been places that have hurt so badly. But I think it's time to let it go. Let go and let your true self be seen. You are a child of the loving Creator. I chose to take the path and follow the Christ, or Jesus' teachings. But I've been exposed to Buddhism, Hinduism, different things in my life, but I couldn't have done that without letting my mom and dad go, I realized. If they'd been in my life, do you think I would step out and do anything like that? Heck no. Mama's daddy was a Methodist minister. Daddy's brother was a Baptist minister. Had cousins that were Baptist ministers. And as a girl, there is no way you can get out there and be a minister. You can't do that. But from the time I was little, that was my heart's desire. I wasn't smart. I didn't have all these degrees. I was not like my other sisters. But yet, I had a friend named Jesus that I thought was my big brother. And I would ask him questions. And he would answer them for me. And the reason I wanted to someday be able to speak, and I was shy, I couldn't speak in front of people, I really couldn't. But the reason my heart wanted to do that is because I wanted people to know that I told Jesus, I said, I want to do this because I asked how many gods there were. He said, how many people are there? I didn't understand. He said, well, everybody makes God in their image, whatever they think. He said, the hellfire your uncle is talking about, he's trying to get you to do what he wants you to do. It's a control system. He says, doesn't your parents spank you? And of course they do. Well, it's not what they wanted me to be all the time. And he said, that's a way of getting you to stop doing what they don't want you to do. They want to have the power over you for everything. Well, I didn't understand that, but the only thing I got out of that at that time was, my God and Jesus' God was a God of love. I don't know how I knew that, but for me, my God was love. My God is love. Come to think of it, when I pulled a card this week when I was on retreat, wasn't really retreat, it didn't feel like we were, from morning till night, we were studying and working and talking and everything, but it was, I'm here to love the world. I feel like I'm here to love the world and everybody and everything in it. Mother was afraid I was going to get in trouble because I was always running to people to hug them, give them a kiss on the cheek, sit on their lap. And I heard her whispering things to Daddy because she had cancer. And I didn't know she was leaving, but she did. She said, keep an eye on her. I married a young man at 17. When Daddy died during that year. And the reason I married him was not even for love. It was out of fear. He was going to kill my daddy, or whoever ever told me that not to marry him, because I told him, you know, I said yes, but I'm going to wait till I graduate from high school. And he threatened me. And I thought, he must love me. You know, this must be love. He would do this. So I covered up with that. But anyway, we do such strange things when we're young. But we go through these, and what I realized in that, I learned even the hard places, the hurtful places. I could relate to somebody in school if their parent died. I could be there for them because I experienced it. I would never say, I know how you feel, because I know their pain is their pain. Their path was their path. But I could be there for them. And in the relationship I was in for 20-some years, I could not have imagined a woman coming to me for counseling and tell me that her husband was doing all the things that I have experienced, it would not relate to me. I had to walk through that stuff to realize there are people out there that can tell you they love you and hold a gun to your head. There are people out there that harm you physically. There are things that go on that was not my world. And we don't know what somebody else is going through when they look at you real mean. Sometimes they may be thinking of something that just happened to them. And you think, I'm not going to get around her anymore. She doesn't like me. Hey, did you see what she did today? We take on things not even knowing what's behind what's going on inside of them. But as we begin to shift, we begin to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. A person that's doing something that we don't approve of, they're learning in that path they're going through. They are learning something for their soul to expand and grow. They may be learning that this is not something I want to be in, but later on, realizing this was an important part of me doing what I'm doing today. Does that make sense? We don't go through things just to be going through it. We're learning and growing with every experience we experience. Just like that little boy back there. Every little car he plays with, every little color he makes, every little word he says, every little step he takes, he's learning something. And then that time comes for us to take a good look at ourselves and say, is this the way I want to be? Is this the path I want to take? And then there's no one there telling you that you have to do that. Oh, well, so-and-so got me into drugs, or so-and-so got me into this or that and the other. Or that gun got me into marrying that man. No, it wasn't. I made the choices myself. At that time, I thought, well, this is the best thing. Somebody must care for me. And then you learn later, I get to feel what somebody else will feel. Because if you haven't walked that mile in that person's shoes, a lot of times you can't relate. So all those things of the past were a part of your own growing for what? For what you'll be doing in this time and this space. What time and what space? When we all start feeling our feelings, we all start feeling of our emotions, we all start allowing all the good and the bad to start rising, and you begin to weigh it inside, and come to the place of which path do I take and what do I want to do in this world. A lot of you, when you were children, what you're doing right now is what you played like you were doing when you were a little girl or a little boy. It's still there. And the world has all the possibilities. You have the power in you to become whatever you want to become. I love to hear WG play the piano. I would love to play the piano. But I'll never play like him or like my mother, because I don't put in the time with it. I don't take the classes. I don't put my energy in that. But whatever it is you want to do, go for it. And if that's part of you is pulling you to go a certain direction, try it. I know someone that she always wanted, she was an artist, she loved to paint, she loved to draw, she loved to do things. And her parents would say, hey honey, you've got to be a secretary, this is back in my day, or you've got to be a nurse. Only women have certain things that they can do. Well, it wound up she kept on until she was asked to do somebody saw that she was doodling and everything and came up behind her and she said, excuse me, and she closed her book and said, may I see that? So she let them see it. And they hired her to do artwork and sketches to go in a magazine. She wound up doing what she loved to do. And that was just her daydream. But that just popped up right now. But these are the things, anything can happen. If you just trust and believe and go for it. Because I believe we all came in here to live a happy life. And we're here for each other. And we'll begin to come to that place, I think, of weaving each other together. We have community as we begin to look to community instead of a little box. We'll find that piece of the puzzle that has been missing. It'll start coming together. Because when you're down in the dumps, you can read all the material you want. But if you can hold a hand with somebody else who's gone through what you're going through, and share your thoughts and feelings, those things can be erased much quicker than they can being alone and drowning in your sorrows. I'm thinking of your last song. And what's the name of it? I hear it, what?
Goodness of God.
I'll sing of the goodness of God. Eventually, I think we'll all come to that place and be really joyous that we had the opportunity to walk on this planet, to be in this place called planet Earth, because to me, it is a pathway to mastership. What in the world is a pathway to mastership? You are masters of your own world. You're a master of your own life. You have the power within you to take you wherever you want to go. Because that spark of your Creator is in you. That seed of God was breathed into you the very moment you were created. The breath you're breathing now is the breath of God. You live, as Jesus said, you live, you move, you have your being in the Christed energy, the connective energy that makes up all things. You live and move and have your being in that energy of divine. I'll still say Christ, the Christ in you. That's the hope of everyone coming together. That's the hope of everyone coming together. To me, I was raised where, it would be of the devil to talk about reincarnation. But as a young lady in the teens, I realized meditation is communicating with the divine within. Prayer is asking. Using God as a Santa Claus. Gimme. When you come to that place that you want to commune, you want to feel that love, you want to feel that peace, you find yourself being divinely directed. Meeting that person that helps you take that next step to be or do whatever it is that you were looking for. There's no coincidences. I believe we're attracting and releasing right now and expanding our awareness and our consciousness. And you're going to find your tribe, whatever that tribe is. You're going to find people of like nature where your energies can begin expanding into that place that you would like to be in. For this is the day the Lord has made. Every day is the day the Lord has made. And this day is made for you and me. It's made for all of us. Not one nationality, not one order or creed. It's for every single one of us to enjoy this planet called Earth. I'm not sure what I've been rattling on about, but I'll close with it. And so it is right now. God's good.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never failed me, and all my days
what you've been feeling or what you've been thinking while you've been here today? Anyone? Ministry's changing, folks. It's not about one person anymore. It's about sharing your stories, about sharing your feelings, so someone can experience where you've been. Because don't think that no one's been in your shoes. They've been there. They've done it. And they may not know how to get out of it. But so many of you have already walked out of those places. If you just only let someone know about it, someone would be needing you, wanting you to assist. Would you like to share? Okay.
I thought about this the whole time that you were speaking, because it struck a note with me. And this is something that is familiar to everyone in here, I would think. And I'm going to read this to you. And you will remember it because Al has sung it many times here. But sometimes I think when things are sung, you listen to the melody and the music, and that's what moves you. But I want you to hear the words to this. Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every gain. To taste the sweet, I face the pain. I rise and fall, yet through it all, this much remains. I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are a heartbeat away, and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. And in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. I've lived to be the very best. I want it all, no time for less. I've laid the plans, now lay the chance here in my hands. Give me the one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are a heartbeat away. And the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. This goes on, and I'm going to stop there. But I hope you got the message from that. And the thing about this one moment in time, we have one moment in time, and it is right now. The very breath we take is the moment we have. And it is up to us to do and live our destiny, because we need, or I should say I need, and if we all want to be free from the fear and the burdens of life, is that you come from a place of love in your heart for yourself and for everyone that you know and meet. Thank you.
Because you don't know if the next breath will come. And I know you've seen that too often. Best friend is gone in just one moment of time. Maybe you just said something that was harsh or cold or bitter to them. Then they're not there anymore to say, hey, I love you and I'm sorry. Every moment is your moment. It's time to use it wisely, and I'm talking to myself. And I hope this time has been a blessing to you today. And I see the light of Christ in each and every one of you. You live and you breathe and you're happy to be with that perfect spark that lets you take your first breath.
Elizabeth, I have something to say here.
Did you say it? Wow. What happened?
Okay, just okay, Mom. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry about that. I thought it was off, but it was obviously on. Last week, when we were in this ministers' conference, there was a lot of discussion about the power of love. And in listening to Laura's songs, and also thinking about the loss that you had and that I've had in my life, and those events that brought us closer together. A lot of times there is a gap that we all walk around with, and it's a gap that is between where we are and where we want to be. And one of the things that really was very obvious to us this week is the best thing to do to fill that gap is to be in a place of love. Very much what Debbie was talking about. And I certainly don't live there all the time. And yet I was reminded this week of how powerful it is to just make a choice to offer a handshake, or offer a smile, or offer an affirmation, or compliment someone on their hair or what they're wearing. We never know what that brightness or that light that we can bring can make a difference. We never know where that person is that we're walking in front of. And we each have that choice. And just like WG said, we only can control this moment right now. But we don't know what this afternoon is going to be about. We have no choice. We have no awareness of what that's going to be like. But we do have an opportunity right now to be that person that we want to be. Some people say that what the best version of yourself, what that can be. We have a choice. Anyone else?
Yeah, anyone else? Let's just take a moment just to close our eyes. Just relax. And recognize you are becoming the change. The change in the world. Loving presence, divine spirit in all there is. We open our hearts to a new beginning. We release the past and its limitations and step boldly into a higher version of ourselves. We choose to be instruments of healing, instruments of harmony and of hope. We affirm that every heart is touched by the higher wisdom this day. Every nation is lit by universal truth, and every soul is rising in the light of collective love. We claim a world that works for everyone, where justice, joy, and generosity overflow. And we say yes, divine spirit, to being that change. Yes to your call. Yes to the new earth now awakening through us. And so it is. Thank you, God. Amen. If this has blessed you in any way,